Alright, so here in another 8-4 Scars and Mirrodin draft. It's a pretty sweet pack, but there's just no question what I'm taking. It's going to be a Massacre Worm. Into the Core, Spread the Sickness are the next best cards. There's also a Blight Widow, which is up there too. But I'm going to be happy with a Massacre Worm. I was on a bit of a bad streak since my last recording, actually, which is, I was going to take a little bit of break, space up my recordings a bit more, but I've lost 3 drafts in a row first round, and I don't think the drafts are that bad. There's a little bit of bad luck, a little bit of me sucking, but maybe the recording's going to force me to focus my game and get me back on track. So here we've got the Flame Fiend, which is pretty sweet. The guy on my right scooped up the rare, so that's how the Flame Fiends get passed. Way better than anything else. I like Treasure Mage, but obviously not over Cadotha Flame Fiend. And yeah, there's not much else in this pack. Alright, so definitely want to play black. I'm going to be playing black almost regardless what else happens, unless I guess I open another 6-mana bomb. But there aren't even many that I would sacrifice playing Massacre Worm for. I mean, I guess if black is ridiculously cut off, could happen. So here we're choosing, I guess, between Dross Ripper, Flare Husk, Ogre Resistor, Ringleader. Other good cards, but I don't really want to shift from black or red without good reason. Ogre Resistor is probably better than Dross Ripper, but this leaves me a little bit more open. Open to Metalcraft and open to abandoning red if that's what needs to happen. Excuse me. It's a late Blight Widow, but none of my 3 cards say Infect. Of course, Massacre Worm will be perfectly playable in Infect, but I'm not super keen on jumping in. I think here we're picking between Sphere of the Suns, Dross Ripper, Rusted Slasher, and Phyrexian Rager. I think I'm choosing between Rager and Sphere of the Suns. I want something a little bit lower on the curve. This will help me accelerate and fix, because I mean triple black, double red already. I think I'm going to take the Sphere of the Suns. Phyrexian Rager is good too, though. Help me dig into my good cards, but I like the acceleration and the fixing. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I've seen this pack before. I don't know if this was foil last time, but it'd be ridiculous if it was foil last time. It looks. I have animations off, by the way, so it doesn't look super foil. Easy to miss sometimes. Maybe this time I take the Resistor over the Ripper. I think I'm just going to take the Ripper again. There's also the Flare Husk, but yeah. Wow. Man, I swear, Infect's only open when I don't go in. And you know, I probably would have pounced on that Blight Widow if I didn't take the Flame Fiend. At this point, I think it's a little late, because I'm pretty sure the guy to my left may have jumped in. And I hate getting cut off in Infect. I'm going to take the Carapace here. It's not really exciting, though. Maybe I should take a Rotwolf for the... or something else. But... yeah. Here there's a Virulent Wind, which is fine. Mearsire. Or, I mean, Serum Raker's probably the best card here. But, I mean, I definitely prefer to play the Flame Fiend. I'll just take Mearsire, see where that goes. I mean, just by taking these artifacts, like, really lets me... Well, first of all, I need artifacts for Flame Fiend, and Mearsire's a good one to sacrifice. But here I'm taking the Spire Serpent just because there's really nothing. But well, Blight Widow's not supposed to wheel, is it? With a Plague Mirror. Am I supposed to take the Blight Widow now? There's a Crush. There's a Plague Mirror. I mean, Plague Mirror fits, but I'm trying to do... I think I'm taking the Blight Widow. I can't... I mean, if like, imagine another one comes. Yeah, nothing's great here. I mean, I can take one of these guys, which are more likely to make the deck, but not needed. I have 2 6-mana cards here already. I'm going to take the Dead Jester, just in case Infect is completely wide open, but oh, I think there's more of a hatred. I could also play Dinosaurs or something, but I'm not letting a Blight Widow go by, even with a Crush in the pack. Like that doesn't make sense. I suppose, like, the only argument is if a guy on my left wasn't in Infect yet, he will be if I pass a Blight Widow, and it makes for a better second pack, I guess. But I'm not letting Blight Widows go by on the wheel. It's too bad I didn't jump into Infect, because pack 3 is going to be pretty ridiculous. Well, I'll take another 6-mana bomb though, quite gladly. I mean, my deck's looking fine whether or not I play this Blight Widow. There's a Necrobead, but I'm going to take the Grasp of Darkness. Necrobead doesn't you just take Necrobead doesn't mean I'm trying to switch into poison. I don't think I am trying to switch into poison here. But Necrobead's a good card. Either way, I'm taking the Grasp of Darkness because it's better, and I'm playing black. I guess I'm not completely committed to red here. I'm gonna pause quickly. Yeah, I was saying, I guess I'm not completely committed to red here. But it'll take a lot to convince me not to play a Flame Fiend. Yeah, I think I can just hide this Rhino. Maybe if I had a Treasure Mage in my pile I wouldn't, but I don't think I'm playing this guy or this. I'll leave the Blight Widow around. But I mean, my incentive to go into green at this point for like a Dinosaurs style deck, it wouldn't be for Infect, is not very high, since I don't, you know, the best Dinosaurs come from that last pack. This is a ridiculous pack. Volition Reigns is a card that would sometimes make me consider abandoning a Flame Fiend, but not with for two reasons. There's a Grasp of Darkness, Trigon of Corruption, which are both great, and I have a Massacre Worm, and so triple black, triple blue is a little bit excessive, even with a Sphere of the Suns. The question here is whether I want Grasp or Trigon, and I think I just want to Grasp. It's close. Some decks fold to the Trigon, and if you pick up a proliferate, like a contagion clasp or something, the Trigon. If I had a contagion clasp in my pile, I'd take the Trigon, but I don't, and so I'll take a grasp. It's going to be a mana mirror, and it's going to be the iron variety, because that is more likely to be on color. Oh, alright, there's a red card, and artifact removal, which I don't have yet. So pretty heavy on the removal here. Pretty good. Never too heavy on removal, as long as you remember to pick up win conditions, and well, some of my removal are win conditions, so it's a good place to be. I'm picking between replica and golem, I guess. I'm going to take the replica. I have nothing in the 3-drop at the moment, and it's always nice to have access to something that trades with Spares and the like. I'll take another leaden mirror with 3 6-drops. That's good news. I possibly don't need many more accelerators. 3 is likely enough, unless I have a way of using extra mirrors. I guess that's where Copper Carapace could come in, because otherwise it's not a deck that doesn't look like a deck that really wants to run Copper Carapace. But if you have enough mirrors, it could be okay. Don't have any sacrifice outlets yet, but there's nothing else in the pack, so I'm taking the Furnace Celebration. I guess I have the replica and the Flame. I mean, Flame Fiend doesn't really combo with Celebration. I mean, you need 8 mana for that. Nothing here. Take the Warden. Alright, I'll take the Fervor, I guess. Not terrific, but in the deck. But I guess at some point I could potentially pick up enough sacrifice outlets to run it and Furnace Celebration. I'm going to hide the Heartsoaker. This is really not the deck for it. I can probably hide this Blight Widow too. I'll leave it open just a little longer. Though I'm not sure what kind of green card would convince me to go into green at this point. I don't think there are any. Green really doesn't have that kind of bomb. Okay, so the choices. In black and red, there's nothing. There's a few good green cards, but I'm not going to take one. The choice here is, I believe, between Mere Galvanizer and Mere Reservoir. I'm going to take the Galvanizer because I know it's going to be fine here. I have 3 mirrors already, and it's going to allow me to play more. And I wouldn't mind playing more. Just I'm not going to if I don't have ways of turning them into real cards. And Mere Galvanizer is a way of that. So is Mere Reservoir. But there's a good chance that I can wield the Reservoir here. This is a decent pack, so unless someone has a really good use for it, that could happen. And yeah. This pack is pretty mediocre. I could take the Sylvok replica, but I don't necessarily want to splash green. I do have a Sphere of the Suns, and you could run Sylvok replica just off Sphere of the Suns. That doesn't seem super exciting. I might just take the Fume Spitter here, which would be good if I did get Furnace Celebration going. Otherwise, Blade Tribe Berserker or another Mana Mirror. I don't think that's what I want to take at this point. I think it's between the Fume Spitter and the Sylvok replica, and I'm gonna go with the Fume Spitter. I don't really want to splash green here. So Instill Infection or Gold Mirror. I'm going to take the Instill Infection. Ooh, that's pretty sweet. Another Grasp of Darkness, and that land would be pretty enticing otherwise. Alright, so now I'm taking a Mana Mirror. I'll take the black one. No reason to think I'm going to be splashing blue. And otherwise, there's a Reaver which sort of fits the curve, but especially if I can actually wield that Reservoir, this would be nice. You know, Painsmith might be decent here. I don't have any I don't have too many evasive creatures. But I mean, it can help turn my mirrors into real cards as well. I mean, plan A is just dropping one of these guys, but yeah, I think Painsmith's the pick. Throne of Geth doesn't do anything. Well, I have a Fume Spitter and a Instill Infection. That's not enough, and I guess you can sort of add it in with Furnace Celebration, but I don't know that it's very likely Furnace Celebration's making the cut here. I think I'm just taking a Blister Grub. I'll hate an Edge Right. So unfortunately, we did not wheel the Reservoir. Wait, no, is the Reservoir next pick? I don't remember now. Oh, okay, I'm pretty sure it was one of these two, so I'm not wheeling the Reservoir. Unfortunately, it wasn't the most likely thing. It depends. I guess if someone had the right deck for it, they were going to snap it up. Or I guess if it dried out later on, I guess it's not an early pick if you can't. It's not like an early hate draft if you have a playable in the pack. I'm just taking the Strider Harness. I'm not sure I'm playing it, but I'm going to take it. So I'm a little bit low on juice here. I have the three ridiculous. Oh, the Reaver actually might make the cut, so I'm not too upset about getting it back. Yeah, so the one problem here is I have the 3 win conditions, and they're all really good, but I guess Massacre Worm and Steel Hellkite are better at actual win conditions, but Flame Flame's still pretty sweet. But after that, it's just a bunch of removal. Well, I guess that's okay. But I'm looked to be playing a lot of mirrors here, and that could lead to some sort of clunky draws. It might mean I'm playing Copper Carapace, even though it wouldn't tend to be a very good card in this type of deck normally, I don't think. Triple Grasp is pretty sweet, though. I don't even know, I may not play the Sphere. 3 of my Mana Mirrors are on color too, so I don't know how much fixing is a concern. And I'm definitely not going to play 4 Mana Mirror plus a Sphere. I'd rather just play the mirrors. I'm going to play them all to start with, and we'll see if I have too many cards. I don't think I do. I think I'm a little shallow in playables. Otherwise, I could play a Fair War. I'm going to play so let's start by filling in what I know I'm playing here. I actually could play a Rhino here. Normally I wouldn't jump on playing 4 6-drops, but I have 4 Mana Mirrors, and so I do want something to ramp into. I have no 5-drops, only a few 4-drops, so I think another beefy guy makes some sense here. And then the last spot or two, I think I'm going to be playing 16 lands. even with 4/6 drops, I have 4 mana mirrors, right? So that's still half my deck are mana sources at 16 lands. I know that mana mirrors are fragile and all, but I have 4, so even if they kill 1, that's still 19 sources. So like, I guess Embersmith could, with a ton of artifacts, could cause some trouble, but there's 1 pack less to open an Embersmith. I didn't pass any. I wouldn't have passed any. It would have been in my pile. But yeah, I don't know. That's a concern. If I see a lot of ways of dealing with X1s, then I will side one out for land. Or if they have a million ways of dealing with X1s, I'll side a couple out for a Sphere of the Suns and land or whatever. So out of these guys, so I'm just, what I'm looking for in my last card is another. What's gonna best turn these guys into actual cards that once they're done accelerating, right? I mean, they're still useful for the accelerating out one of my big guys, and like Flame Fiend. I have fodder for Flame Fiend and whatever, but I definitely, once they're done the accelerating, definitely want something that's going to help turn them into a better card. I think I'm playing a Harness here because, well, not only can it turn a 1/1 into 2/2, which is a pretty big difference, it can make for like a hasty Massacre Worm, which could be ridiculous, or even a hasty Hellkite could be, or any of these guys can be pretty nuts. And it turns my smaller guys into something more significant. And then the questions for the last card, is it going to be a Copper Carapace or a Fervor? So both of them help turn these mirrors into something better. Now, what's the likelihood of Fervor actually bashing through? Not that good. It doesn't allow it to trade with something big though. But I think Copper Carapace does a better job of turning these guys into real cards. A 3/3 is nothing to sneeze at in this format for sure. So I'm going to take the even though normally Copper Carapace is not the kind of card I'm looking for in a deck running these 4 cards, but with all these mana mirrors, I think it makes some sense as a plan B. Like, especially like against like a removal, if they have a really removal heavy deck, and even though like not all removal can actually deal with these guys, or some of these guys, especially Massacre Worm, you know, a deck with the right kind of removal. Not only can Copper Carapace draw out the removal early if you attach it to one of these guys earlier. Also, if they try to, you know, if they save the removal for your big guys, you still have something that they have to deal with in the Carapace potentially. Okay, so and draw Surfer is also especially in this deck, he's better than a lot of the other 4 drops would be, just because I'm going to have a lot of mana potentially, and looking for, it's a good way of, you know, fitting in a significant threat in the late game, but that does something earlier on too. So and it's, you know, nice on turn 3, I guess. I would have really liked another 4-drop with all these mirrors, but you know, I took what I could get. So they're saying 13/3. That seems a little ridiculous, even though my only red cards are Flame Fiend and Shatter. 3 is not enough for a Flame Fiend. 10/6. It's more like 12. 7, I guess, with the mirrors. Is 6 enough red? Yeah, I think that makes sense. I do want to be pretty heavy on the black with the grafts and the massacre worm, and well, 7 red sources. I only have the 1 flame fiend, and I do want to be able to cast it when I draw it, but I think this is fine. Maybe I should go 9/7. No. I'd rather the rest of my deck be more consistent than one card be consistent. So I'll see you round 1.